Hey, I just thought I'd jump on here real quick. I pulled a card. I was feeling spirit lead me today. So I pulled a card for each sign: air, water, fire, all the elements. So I'm going to give a quick read from the Earth Magic Oracle cards, and we're going to move from there. Okay. So what I have first going down is the Cave card. We're going to start with swords, which is Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And we're going to read that. It's called Sanctuary. And it is CCCC. I don't know these. No one does by heart. As the sun sets, the crescent of the new moon appears on the distance as this ancestral human creates his art, painting on the walls of the cave with colors drawn from Earth's substances. The fire warms him, the cave shelters him, and provides a refuge for the rest of the world. It is womb-like structure. It's not only offers sanctuary, but it also serves as a temple that houses his creative spirit, which eventually gives birth in the physical form of his artwork. Note how absorbed he is in the process. He no doubt is prepared for the creative ceremony by getting the fire going, mixing the colors, and gathering his sacred objects. His painting an image of sacral spiral, one of the most ancient symbols ever discovered. It has been depicted in artwork found in a variety of cultures and occurs frequently in nature in exquisite mathematical portions, such as in the shape of nautilus shell. It also shows up in burial sites around the world, representing the endless spiral of a life, death, and now a rebirth. So our swords, which is our Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, are going through a rebirthing right now. They're opening up. They are, leaving some things behind on the walls of caves, or undoing some things from their past lives in their new rebirth. They're finding some new ways to go. There is quiet, still place inside of you that will always be available as a sanctuary. That's what it says after I said that. Yet finding such a space in the natural world will enhance the complement, this internal place of peace, whether it is a cave, a meadow, a forest, seashore, or any other setting in nature. That is where you can see, hear, and feel the presence of the Creator in your surroundings. Let it become a temple of your heart and soul. Rather than having your computer, television, or any other human-like device or activity by your sanctuary, allow yourself to discover the perfect place in nature where you can simply be and breathe. Doing so brings the connection between the internal and exterior, facilitating a spiritual communion that allows your being to be aligned in dramatic and quiet reverence. In today's busy world, it becomes even more critical to set aside time for sanctuary, even if you have scheduled it. So what this is basically saying is take some time for you. Take some time for you to understand. Take some time for you to figure it out. Take some time to really plant your seeds, go away, meditate, find a quiet space, find out who you are, what you want. There's so many different colors of beauty on this card that you daydream, but you also write them down. So when you write something down, it becomes prosperous. It becomes abundant. It's not only speaking it, but putting it in writing, like the Bible or a testimonial or our story in life. If you never write your story down, how is someone going to be being remembered? By you keeping it inside of you? Yeah, no, that doesn't work. So the next one we're going to do is Pentacles. Pentacles are Capricorn, Aquarius, and Virgo. They are also the earth. And they have the lotus flower. And the lotus flower, if you take notice, is a beautiful flower, but it grows underwater. Like, it's all the debris, and it holds on to the shores of the bottom. And I find that these individuals hold on to things, and they manifest beauty from nothing. Like, the weirdest things. Like, they're different creatures. Not only is this earth, but this really is grounded from earth, the lotus flower, from underneath. Let me read the unfoldment. Lotus flower. I flip right open to it. Your spiritual unfoldment is occurring at all times, whether or not you're aware of it. It is inevitable as long as you put your trust in the hands of the Creator, the one who holds the light. Like the lotus, your soul is always reaching for the light to fulfill in karmic destiny. But even in that process, there are periods of darkness and times to rest. It is a natural one that cannot truly be coerced or halted. It has an innate rhythm of its own, and one that is unique to the being that is you. You do not need to strive or be driven by spiritual ambition. It does no good to try to force growth upon yourself or others. For that matter, allowing is the key here, allowing the place in you that naturally wants to follow the light to do. So while recognize that even when you have complete faith, you will be faced with challenges occasionally from suffering. Your steady faith and love will guide you on the journey of returning to the light. So just like this flower, it blooms, it comes up, the lily pad sits and waits. You wait on your Creator. You're faithful. You know it's going to happen. You just don't know when. You get anxious. So with you, There's some love. There's some hope. You're fed not only by the elements of the water, but the earth is where you're grounded and rooted. And that makes perfect sense there for you guys. So the next one we're going on to is fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And you have the ancestors card today. It's all intertwined through the snake. It's got you all wrapped up. It's generations. Seems like someone has passed a life cycle here. Ancestors. Maybe it's in our generations. It's weird. Where's the ancestors? 17. You have within you the blood of your ancestors. You are deeply connected to your lineage, the most immediate proof of that being the physical resemblance you have to your mother and father, perhaps even your grandparents. Yet beyond that, although you're unknown to your unusual senses, you are connected to your ancestry that reaches back through the millennium. This is the time to call upon those ancestors. Those who are your bloodline will, as though ancient ones who have walked the land that you now walk. In many indigenous cultures, it is believed that the essence of the ancestors inhabits many of the physical aspects of the land. In other words, they are in the trees, the water, the air, the animals, the stones, their blood being in their very dirt and sand you tread upon. Next time you're outside, allow your senses to open to the ancestors who abide in the physical world. And any time at all, allow your heart to open to those spirits. That was confirmation, to whom you are related through the hereditary and those whom you are connected by virtue of the land upon which you live. So a lot of empaths are Aries and Leos and Sagittarius. A lot of witches. We're grounded. Mother God. We use the outside and it controls our environment. So if it's dark out, we're depressed. If the sun is out, we're happy. If water is running, we can become sad. The salt in the air frees us to breathe. I mean, I'm an Aries, so obviously I relate to this. My ancestors I walk with, I'm good with healing stones. I'm an empath, I'm a medium. You know, what resonates here on all of these cards doesn't necessarily have to find every contribute that you have or attribute. These are just elements of the makeup of you and, you know, how you're aligned in creation. And really reach out to your ancestors. I do. I know I've completed a life cycle. You have to look back on the patterns of your life and know that those happen so that you can undo them. And if they're perfectly fine, do understand that bad times do come. And when you do, reach out to Mother Nature. Next, we have swords. Oh, cups, I'm sorry. Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. This is love. They're the love bugs. They feel with their emotions. They cry a lot. Dawn, new beginnings. I believe that there's a lot of karmic cycles in this Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. I believe that a lot of karmic partners are based on lust, and not the true identity of who they are. Our life purpose is why we're here. It's not based on our looks or how great your love life is or, you know, how flitter, flatter, or butterflies go. But a lot of people in this cycle look back on regret. You know, they pretty much live by water. And if water dries up, they've got nothing. And there's lots of water that creates the earth and that keeps them balanced. But if they're in an area where the altitude is much higher than you're used to, where the sun comes up, they find the ground themselves by climbing mountains, spending a lot of time in the woods, watching the sunset or sunrise. But they're always consciously thinking about what if. What if? Maybe if I did this, maybe if I did that. But that's what I'm getting from this card. So I've never actually gotten this card, so I'm going to read it. Dawn means a new day. And new beginnings. When you witness the initial stages of a dawn without the benefit of a clock or other timepiece, for a while you may be able to discern whether the sky is really lighting. The stars remain visible and the shadows of the night still shape the landscape. It is that way with any beings. It is difficult to tell where the old ends and the new begins. Gradually, however, it becomes clear to your senses that the light is definitely increasing, and as you continue to observe, the world slowly wakes up, occupied by the sounds, the smells, and the freshness associated with it. Soon the first glimmer of the sun shows. A new day has begun. This is a time to say farewell to the old and honor the new by releasing any self-imposed constraints or resistance to the truth that you know. This is your chance to develop the project you have been thinking about. Embark on that adventure you've dreamed on going on, and taking risk on initiate what your initiative self has been telling you all along. Follow your intuition. It's not even intuition with this sign. It's self-worth and doubting decisions that you make, second guessing yourself. I find that, the sun comes up, it comes up every day. Every day you get a new chance to start over, but they're still looking at the past. And Scorpios, Pisces, and Cancer, always, because they're based on the water and wait for the sun to come up, they're always thinking about how beautiful yesterday was. That causes much anxiety. Worry about today. The sun's already guaranteed. God's always going to bring it up. A new day comes for all of us when we're in this element and part of this life. And I mean on this element of journey. If you're in another journey and you pass on and move on to your next purpose, you're not going to remember. So remember each day that the sun comes up and the sun goes down. You have a choice. You get to dictate what happens because God shows you the way. Look how beautiful that dawn is. The new day brings new joy, new hope, new life. This is a time to say farewell to the old by releasing the self-imposed restraints. As this prospect becomes increasingly visible and real, doubts and uncertainties may arise. But rest assured, just as dawn inevitably turns into day by heeding your inner guidance, you will succeed. You can't fail. Every day you get a new day to start over. So we have the cave, which is air, my air sign. I had the lotus flower, which is my earth. I had fire, which is your ancestors. They had to light you up to get you motivated to change the course of history. And dawn, new beginnings, which is that Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, who always are looking down at the water where it's blue and crystal clear, but never really looking up and understanding that each day that sun comes up and that water glows because of the light of sunshine. The sun card is the most abundant card in the deck. It's new life, it's vitality, it's knowing that tomorrow comes. And that's the promise that we have if you believe in spiritual being or Christ or whatever religion you believe in, is that a new day is dawning. There's songs about it. I mean, I'm trying to think of the song that's in my head. It's by Celine Dion. New day is calling. I don't know the name. If you know it, please like, subscribe, let me know down below. I don't normally do one sign for each. I wanted to put out an oracle. Happy Friday. It's almost St. Patty's Day. Please be safe and understand that we all have illnesses that go in the world. Stay clean, stay fresh, stay out of people's way. A lot of people are worried about that thing that's going on right now in the world with the corona. You're going to pass away whatever God's plan is for you. And if he made that to wipe out all the badness, to bring in some new for that next soul journey that he needs to bring all those packers with him, we don't get a say. We have a date of birth and a date of death, and our name is written in the book of Lambs. And if your name is in that book, then you will prosper. Author who lives in Jesus Christ lives again. Do what you got to do. Have a great weekend. Believe what you want. But I've been born again and died and lived, and Christ died for me. So whatever you have or whatever you believe in Buddha or manifestation, make it come true. No worries. Don't be worried. Tomorrow comes. Have a great day.